And as I said before, Miss Simangal, Miss Mangal Bissessor, the deputy mayor, was there that night at supper, and so I'll ask you to receive on her behalf. Of course, it's always nice giving her.
Thank you.
We won't go over that, so it's good. There's Sabah. And let's do the kiss.
Should have the students.
So I know with schools and the anxiety to get back to your school, we'd like to present to Ms. Michelle Dorich and the St. Joseph's Convent, San Fernando, your school that did a marvelous opening piece of the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago and Cuba. It was so beautiful. Ms. Dorich? So I'll ask Mr. Kamabach to present Ms. Dorich. And we'd like a representative student to come up from St. Joseph Convent to receive on behalf of the choir. At that supper concert, students, I know you represent those who are not here, they are in sixth form now, and you are the representatives. But we will ensure that you see what they did in time to come. But I'd like a representative and Ms. Hines to please come up and receive on behalf of the exchange our little tokens of appreciation for the wonderful dance that was done to show the diversity of peoples in this land. Now, when we started this, South became what we all know, we divide Trinidad in North and South. South was really the backbone that we could depend on in terms of culture. And so your worship is very correct when he says culture and South is synonymous. So I say, you know, kudos to the South where you really have culture out there. And I met Mr. Torrance Mohammed, and I was ever amazed because he was somebody who was a cultural icon. I just knew him as a name, a big figure. And I was fortunate, his wife taught me at St. Augustine Girls High School. So of course he was still a big figure then. And when I actually met him, and I have met the most erudite and most learned man in Mr. Torrance Mohammed. Of course, he was the name in dance and Best Village and all these things. So I would like Mr. Torrance Mohammed to please come up. And girls, I want you to give him a really good tribute. Because you are so young. I was your age when he was this big figure in my experience. So you are so much younger now. And I'm sure you know when His Worship asked you about names you didn't know, but that's because you're so young. But here is Mr. Torrance Mohammed. He has been the founder of so many things in your South landscape. He was a founding member of the National Dance Association of Trinidad and Tobago. And if you look at your little program that we had, it has so many nice things that tells you about this gentleman. So it is my pleasure to present to Torrance, on behalf of the Educational Exchange, this token of our appreciation for what you have been to us, standing by us, and helping us make this a reality.
Thank you.
And Torrance is the founder of Arawak's dance group. And they had the most delightful little dancers, and they danced Belafonte's Senorita, Senorita's Delight, and Senora's Delight. It was so wonderful. We begged him to send them to perform for us at our closing ceremony, as well as the supper concert. It was absolutely delightful. Your Worship, I wish you had seen those little senoritas. They would have delighted your southern heart. So I would like, again now, to ask Mr. John. John has children and they dance. John is one of our directors. And I would ask John to come and make this presentation to Torrance, because he's a dad, he has girls, and this definitely needs John to present to Torrance, man to man, what they can do with their daughters. So John, I invite you to Arawaks, the Arawaks dance group. There are two bars. There are two persons for the Arawaks. No, Arawaks have two. Okay, well, we could yes.
Refrain from the kiss for this.
No, this is man to man. Daughters are their business.
Thank you.
Yeah. And as I said, if you read that little, Torrance is also the founding member of the San Fernando Arts Council. And you all know, you participate, we all in secondary schools, we all try to get involved in San Fest because we want those titles, okay? And we've won it at Success a few times too, all right? So, Torrance, I can only say how grateful we are. So on behalf of the San Fernando Arts Council and those who supported us, we'd like you to... Oh, Margaret Barker, Hudson Barker. So, okay, so you see, teachers are so important. Actress, retired school teacher. So I'll ask Mr. Kamabach to present those for the San Fernando Arts Council. There were two people who were the 2018 winners of Sanfest. Then Joshua Hines, you remember, I don't know if you remember Joshua Hines, absolutely divine voice, and he sang Portrait of Trinidad. Then we had Shanika Collins, and she was the NGC 2018 Miss Sanfest. So we had a Mr. Sanfest and Miss Sanfest. So we'll ask Ms. Barker to deliver these tokens, and in that parcel also is your token on behalf of us. So thank you so much. And you know, when we see the talent of our students, I know Ms. Dorich, Yana, Ms. Hines, principals like Mr. Allard and myself, we are so excited that we are the ones who could nurture you all through the things we offer you at the schools. So, as Mayor said, just grasp it. Now, we also had one of South famous parent groups, Alma de Caribe, and Elliot Mohammed is the manager of that group, and he is the son of the Mr. Mohammed Sr., who started and was the founding member of the National Parang Association of Trinidad and Tobago. You see how South is important in the life of Trinidad and Tobago? Right. So Torrance again. We had the Cubans really hopping to it when they heard that parang. So Torrance again, thank you very much. So when we started this journey, we invited people to come on board. And one person who came was Yana. And Yana, I want to say thank you very much, and please come forward, because we'd like to appreciate you for the thoughts you brought to our project stakeholders committee meeting. And again, there was somebody called Amber De Silva. She was a delightful, again, youthful Indian classical dancer. And out of Torrance's, deep knowledge of people and performers of the South, she came to us. So Torrance again, please receive this on behalf of Amber. He's getting tired with the kisses now. And there's a nice gentleman sitting behind you. A delightful person to have a conversation with. And when he came on board in 2015, he came as one member from the Cuban Friends of Cuba. And that's an organization you should probably get interested in, because they have been there charting the course of history with the Cubans from the Trinidad perspective. So Clyde, you have been a stalwart to us in all that we have done. There was never a moment when you did not say not to give up or don't worry about it. You've always brought that steadfastness to what we have done. And you've brought all your friends of Cuba to just be another set of support for us at the exchange. So please come and receive this from us. So it's Clyde Calendar. Give him a hand, please. No concert is ever successful unless you sell tickets, right? Because that was one of the ways we had to raise funds, for the expenses. And 3 people assisted us in the South land to sell tickets. They were Lydia Cleghorn, Margaret Barker, and Paula Athley. And without their help, we could not have had the massive crowd that we had. Sapo was a sold-out audience. So give yourselves a round of applause for having people like that in the South. So I'll ask Ms. Barker to... And Mr. James Solomon as well.
The chairman
of the San Fernando Arts Council. So I'll see that. Right, John. So we would also like to call on Mr. John Julian to assist now with the handout of this as our director of the exchange, the Cuba Exchange. And